guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Danny D, and today I want to present you my Anbu Ninja Build. I got inspired by a subscriber of mine, Thomas, who asked me for a Kusarigama build, and I decided to make one. It's a build who is based around the Kusarigama, but can also use the Tonfa as well. And also has a variety of ninjutsus that he can use to decimate his opponents. So with no further ado, let's begin with the items. I decided to craft me a swordsman Kusarigama for the active skill key damage that it has inherited on it. And I also have what's very important on it, the poison accumulation on enemies on it, especially if you play like Way of the Demon. It's almost a necessity that you have poison accumulation on it, because otherwise you would take way too long to inflict them with poison. I also have active skill key consumption minus on it, so I'm able to spam my attacks. As well, I have break on it, active skill break, and attack bonus skill A+ on it. All of those close combat weapons are crafted in the Grace of Daikokutens, which gives us the following bonuses. The 2-piece bonus gives us 258 life. The equipment drop rate increases with 5% on a 3-piece bonus. 4-piece bonus is damage taken minus 4%. The 5-piece bonus is ninjutsu power plus 50. The 6-piece bonus grants us a damage boost when a ninjutsu is used, so it always procs even if you use an Rakanzan coin, for example. You have the 7-piece bonus for the attack bonus on dexterity, which is only the cherry on top of it, which makes it a very nice grace for every dexterity or a ninja based build. So let's move on to our second weapon. I decided to put in a Tonfa because the whole theme is based around ninja, and that's what the games are providing us with our Tonfas and Kusarigamas for ninjas. So I decided to work in the Tonfa. I built myself a Ninja Tonfa, which also comes with active skill key damage. I forged active skill break on it, active skill key consumption, the poison accumulation on enemy again, and attack bonus dexterity, and also have break on it. Again, we need those set parts for the Daikokuten's Grace, so it's forged in Daikokuten's Grace. Let's move on to the rifle. I decided to make me an Negoro rifle, just for that reason that it has auto-target weak point on it, which can come in very, very handy sometimes. Because if you play against human enemies, and if you're locked on, you have for a short window, about 1 second, you have the time to perform a headshot. So it's nice to round things up. You can use any kind of rifle that you want. I decided to pick the Negoro rifle for that simple reason. The only important thing that you need to have on your rifle or your hand cannon is that you have the damage bonus agility A on it, because it stacks with your close combat. The next important thing about it is that you have it smithed in the Daikokuten's Grace, so you get the set bonuses. That's all for the rifle. Moving on to the hand cannon. I decided to use the Crimson hand cannon for the reducted attack on a ranged attack. It doesn't proc that often, only with 21.2%, but it can come in very handy even if you, or especially if you play in co-op. So it can sometimes make a difference if you manage it to hit the boss with your hand cannon and proc those reduced attack. Here, also important to mention that you have a damage bonus agility on it, so you can benefit from the damage boost. Let's move on to the helmet. I decided to craft myself a Cold Snake helmet just for that simple reason that it has melee damage which is poisoned enemies on it with plus 16.7%. I also recommend that you try to roll on untouched ninjutsu on every single part of your armor, because it makes your build so much more viable because you're able to spam those ninjutsus as you wish, or quite more frequent than normal. I also have the ninjutsu power on it because we're always based on the ninjutsu power with the scroll that I will mention later on. And what else did I have on it? I also would recommend that you roll attack on it. I got some lightning resistance on it, and I also have some elemental damage taken while guarding on it. Moving on to the chest plate, I decided to make myself a Namban cuirass, which gives me an inherited elemental damage taken, minus 4.3%. I also have ninjutsu power on it. I have active skill damage on it. I got my untouched ninjutsu. I got the attack on it, and I got the life recovery on a Brita absorption on it, which is quite a handy on a chest plate. I want to notice that the chest armor is the only piece that you can roll on the life recovery on Amrita absorption for your equipment, or let's say for your gear. Moving on to the gauntlets, I decided to use the Tatenashi set, which some of you might think right now, oh my god, he's wearing very heavy armor for a ninja. That has one reason, because I felt too squishy when I was running my medium and my light armor, so I decided to put something heavier on it, and ended up with a Tatenashi. It works very good with it, but if you are not that satisfied with my choice, I got some other options for you. You can also use Sonata Crimson, which gives you life plus 100. You got the Never Winded perk, which has a chance to give you immunity against becoming winded when you are hit an enemy while your ki is depleted. Also comes in handy. It also has, with the forcep bonus, the melee damage plus 4, and block is raised by 20 points. If that is not enough for you, you can also use the crossed sickles from the Kingo set, which gives you plus 100 in life. Final blow damage is increased by plus 10%, and melee damage plus 4%. Another option is to use the Hero of Troubled Times, which gives you rifle speed up, damage taken, and high attack damage plus 6%. And it also has the life recovery on enemy with confusion on it, which we are able to proc very commonly and often on that build. And some life recovery is always good. For those who want to run a very light build with low equipment rating, I got the Master of Illusions for you, which gives us ninjutsu damage, unscathed plus 10%, ninjutsu power plus 48 points, and the ki recovery speed up on ninjutsu used. Up next, I want to go over those single perks that I smithed on my gauntlets. I got water resistance on it, tenacity on it. I got attack on it. I got the untouched ninjutsu again, and I got the ninjutsu power. And the active skill damage is with the star behind it, which means you cannot craft it. You need to find those armor pieces with the star perk behind it. They are much higher than those that you can craft on it. But if you are not able, or as lucky as I am, you can also craft the active skill damage on it. So it's not that big a deal if your equipment is not like mine. It's still viable. Moving on to the waist guard, I got the Tatanashi waist guard with lightning resistance on it, running speed up to move a little bit faster on the battlefield. I got the active skill damage again with a star perk on it. I got the ninjutsu power. I got my attack on it, and I got the key recovery bonus on Amrita gauge on it. The boots have projectile damage taken, attack, dash key consumption, active skill damage, and water resistance, as well as ninjutsu power, and that rounds up our setup on the armor section. Moving on to the accessories, I decided to pick up the riding set because the riding set has inherited ninjutsu power on it with 24 points. Got the elemental damage taken, minus 11.9% on it. I got the extended elemental damage, elemental weapon on it. Sorry about that. I got active skill damage on it, which can only be found by a drop on it, so it's even not craftable on accessories. And I got the poison accumulation on enemies on it. Our second accessory is the Yasakani Magatama, which reduces our set requirements -1, which makes this complete build viable, or let's say viable to use two different sets in that set bonus section. I got extended elemental weapon on it, I got life recovery Amrita absorption on it, and I got elemental damage taken minus on it, and I was lucky enough to get one with active skill damage plus 4.8%. When it comes to the scroll, it's your best option to use one with damage bonus on ninjutsu power. If you're not able to get one of those, you can use any other scroll that you have in your inventory. It's just the icing on the cake on that build, but just keep your eyes open if you have one with a damage bonus on ninjutsu power. Mine comes with an extra damage taken minus 1.7% and range damage plus 6.5%, which makes this build much more viable in the ranged attack section. Let's move on to the stats. I got Constitution on 94 because I reached the max level, and I need to respec to raise it up to 99, which I pull out of Heart with 30 points. I got Courage on 15, I got Stamina on 50 to wear my heavy armor, I got Strength on 25 because the refined armor has higher strength costs. I got Skill on 99 because it raises our ninjutsu power and also is a scaling attribute for our Kusarigama. I got Dexterity on 99 for the set bonus of the Daikokuton set and the scaling of the Kusarigama as well as the Tonfa, and I got Magic on 30 for the Omnio slots. One more thing I want to show you here is with that complete setup that we're running, we have a ninjutsu power of 761, which is quite above average. So moving on to the Kusarigama skill tree, I decided to use the Mystic Art Shooting Star because it increases my attack and key damage with the metal weight of the Kusarigama. If you're not a friend of the metal weight, you can also use the Vexing Crescent. It's just completely up to you what you want to use in that section. In high stance, I decided to use with holding the heavy attack button, the Serpent Strike, which is a quite nice skill for human enemies because you're able to pull them towards you and give them your combo, your high stance combo with the combo finisher Deliverance, which can cause very good damage. I added Masterful Slice to the Serpent Strike. It's up to you what you use here. I just feel a little bit more confident when I use Serpent Strike with Masterful Slice, because I'm able to break key here way much more often than I used to. As I already said, as combo finisher in high stance, I'm using the skill Deliverance, which makes a roundhouse slash with your Kusarigama sickle, and ends up the combo very well. For guarding and heavy attack, I decided to run the Renegade Dragon. It's a skill where you make a flurry out of strikes and slashes with your Kusarigama. It has a very good hit scan, but if you're not confident with that skill, you can also use Crimson Flurry. The only thing why I don't use Crimson Flurry is, it has a hit scan that is totally awful. I'm not able to manage to hit someone with that skill properly, even when he's standing in front of me sometimes. So I decided to use the little bit more weaker version of that attack, the Renegade Dragon. Renegade Dragon has about let's say 2/3 of the damage that you do with the Crimson Flurry, but it has a very, very good hit detection. The next skill I'm using is Blade Spin while I'm blocking and light attacking. It's a very nice attack if you are surrounded or want to close the gap between you and your opponent. It is a big slash or a whirl with the Kusarigama around your head, and you perform a dodge. It sometimes appears like it has some small iframes on it, or maybe it's just the thing that you're making a small dodge and rolling towards your enemy, that they are sometimes not able to hit you. As weapon buff, I have the Winter Dawn skill on it, but I don't use it very frequently because it may increases the key damage that you inflict, but it also increases the amount of key that you use while attacking. It's completely up to you if you want to buff yourself with that skill. Let's move on to the mid stance. So in mid stance, I have as combo finisher the skill Deliverance, like I had on high stance. I got Leaping Strike, which is a kind of uppercut that you perform while you're guarding and heavy attacking. I also have the Whirlwind on it, which is the skill of Hachisuka Koroku, the guy who looks like a kappa. I also managed to get myself the Mystic Weapon Art for it, which is called Water Drop or Teardrop or something like that. It's quite a funny if you're able to break the key of your human opponent, because if that's the case, you do a kind like a body slam. It's not viable, but I don't use it very often because I don't have confidence in it. But like I said before, it's up to you which stance that you mainly use. But I would prefer that you use the high stance. On the hold light attack button, I decided to go with Black Vines, just because it gives me a good opener against human enemies and maintain the control over them. I also run here Winter Dawn and Masterful Guard just to fill up the gaps, so you're free to skill whatever you want in that section. Coming to the low stance, I kept it very basic and only picked up those skills that are required to reach other more important skills. I have here the Retreating Strike, I got Renegade Dragon again, I got Chain Pull, so I got another option to pull an enemy towards me. I got Black Vines, and I got the Winter Dawn again. And that's all for the Kusarigama build. So if you are more of a Tonfa player and not used to the Kusarigama, I got the following skills for you. For example, the Mystic Guard I'm using is Apocalypse, because it increases my damage from the Tonfa when I perform a series of consecutive hits. On high stance, I use as combo finisher the ability Shove, which is just a normal shoulder bash after 2 light attacks. The light attack finisher is Heavenly Chain, which is a flurry of hits with your Tonfa, which swirls around your head, and it's very useful for breaking yokai horns, and one of my main skills that I use in that build. While you're guarding and performing a heavy attack, I decided to pick up the skill Urgency, just because it's a very good skill to break opponents' defense. That's why I decided to go with Masterful Slice here, because it always, or mostly, opens up the human enemy for a finisher. While guarding and light attacking, I decided to go with Wild Lions, just because it's a great skill for as an opener, because it's ramps up or Apocalypse, which gives us those attack bonus stacks, and it also has the capability to inflict poison even with that one attack. So our next ability, or our bread and butter ability on the Tonfa build, is Demon Dance, which is very quite easy to perform, because every key impulse grants us those repositioning animation, which gives you a short period of iframes, which can come very handy if you time it very well. The other reason why Demon Dance is so strong is because after performing a Demon Dance, you're able to unleash a flurry of wild attacks on your enemy, and after key pulsing again, you're able to chain those flurries over and over and over again until your key gauge is completely exhausted. On the Hold Strong attack skill, you can go with Storm of Strikes or either with Focus Strike. It just depends on your personal preferences. Moving on to the mid stance, I'm using the ability Shove again. I use the Heavenly Chain. I use the Wild Lions. The Demon Dance, which is most important on that build, that you use Demon Dance all the time that you can. I got Storm of Strikes, I got Fleet-Footed, which is a very, very nice skill, as you can see in the video down below. If you are dodging and performing a heavy attack, you make that dodge that you can see in the video and closing the gap between you and your opponent. When it comes to the low stance, I keep it as basic as I did with the mid stance. I got the Sweeping Kick, I got Heavenly Chain. I don't have learned the guarding and a strong attack, but you can also use the attack Rising Dragon, which is completely up to you. I still have my Wild Lions, I got my Demon Dance, I got Storm of Strikes, and I got Fleet-Footed. The reason why I keep the mid stance and the low stance basic is because I'm used to play in high stance, because I prefer that most. So when it comes to our Guardian Spirit, I'm using the Atlas Spirit just for a small reason that it has a melee damage plus 5% on it. It also has the damage bonus for low key on it, which grants us a damage boost at 50% key and 10% key. And it has faster winded recovery on it, so we're not forced to smith that on our armor. If you're not a fan of the Atlas Bear, you can also run the Guardian Spirit Hoe, which grants us a high attack damage plus 8%. You can also use it as your secondary spirit, which grants you 4% high attack damage. If you're still not satisfied with that choice, you can go with Hoe as your first Guardian Spirit, and Kurama Tengu as your second one, because it gives you the quick attack damage plus 3%. When it comes to soul cores, I keep it simple as it can get. I'm using Yatsunokami for the melee damage versus poisoned enemies. I also was lucky enough to get one with ninjutsu power. I'm also using the Nopeppu Soul Core for the simple reason of the yokai ability, which grants us the status effect Berserk. Berserk increases our attack damage for a short period for around 50% as far as I know. It's a totally no-brainer in the current meta, and it's the one thing you need to have to increase your damage output. On the defensive side, I'm using a Bakigani Soul Core for a simple reason that it has damage taken minus 0.9%, and it's also nice that it has Kodama sensor on it if you're not managed to get all of your Kodamas. When it comes to our ninjutsus, I'm using the Poison Shuriken to inflict poison damage. I got the Flaming Heron, which have a very good tracking, to inflict burn damage, and I have the Raijin Feathers for electrical damage. Just want to note that if you are able to electrify and burn your enemy, you're proccing Confusion, which grants you more key damage on your opponent and increases the damage output overall, and that's something that we are able to proc quite commonly in that build. So if you have an opponent who is weak on fire and lightning, you're using Raijin Feathers and Flaming Heron. If you have a opponent with a certain immunity on it, like let's say Imagawa, who has a immunity on lightning, you're using Yaroka Water. To keep our damage buff from the Daikokuten set always up, we're using Rakan San Coin. It's just one slot that you need for that Rakan San Coin, and then you're good to go, and always have a damage boost on ninjutsu used. I'm also using the Galnap Broth just because of that reason, that with our high ninjutsu power, we're able to inflict much more damage with a Galnap Broth than we are used to with a imbued weapon. So I'm going here with my Galnap Broth, and I also got with me the Purification Talisman if we are running into an enemy who is cursed, so we can cleanse him and then make him back to a basic enemy. When it comes to our Omnio skills, I decided to go with the Life Leech Talisman because we are performing very rapid and consecutive hits, so we're keeping our life at fullest. I got the Barrier Talisman to keep my ki consumption or my ki regeneration up as well. I got the Steel Talisman for more protection, and I got the Regeneration Talisman for more life regeneration. I also use the Extraction Talisman for that simple reason that every hit will pull in some Amrita for us, and with those perks that we have on our chest arm, for example, we're able to heal from them as well. I also go with a Levitation Scroll, which grants me immunity from any status effect on the ground, like let's say water damage or burning ground. You can also go with the Quick Change Scroll, but you need to swap out one of those skills. Like, for example, you can only run them with 3 Heron Feathers or with 3 Raijin Feathers. It's completely up to you if you want to use the Levitation Scroll or the Quick Change Scroll. You also have the opportunity to use the Tiger Running Scroll, which makes your running even faster. So that's all for the ninjutsu tree. Let's move on. So in the following clip, I'm using the footage from the original video. It's the mission, the Refined Man of the Underworld. We're applying our buffs, Steel Talisman, Barrier Talisman. Then I'm switching to the Tonfa, using the Galnap Broth. using the levitation roll. I don't need it really in that mission, but just for round things up. The extraction talisman, the right-hand sand coin, then let's get started. As you see, the Tonfa decimates the opponents very quickly. They don't stand a chance. Heavenly Chain breaks the horns of the yokais very fast. Now there's a Gusuki incoming. There he is. Poison him. Heavenly Chain. Demon Dance. He's already poisoned and ticking. As you can see, I just keep on ramping up those hits with my Apocalypse. Use a little bit of lightning, a little bit of fire, so I can get on the deconfusion. Now he's confused. Takes more key damage and damage as well. And just keep on hitting on them. Keep on hitting. Almost done. And there is Mizuki. Yeah, just one more final strike. Then Gusuki's down. There he is. Okay, let's switch to the Kusarigama. Coat it with poison. And let's do the same with Mizuki. Poison him. Lightning. It's procced. Fire, procced also. Still keeps attacking me. Trying the new Peppo. Oh, now he grabbed me. But it's no problem. Just make a few hits. Then you get your life back via the extraction talisman that almost ran out. So I'm switching to the life leech talisman. And the reason why we have the Gelnabrat is that we keep up the poison accumulation on the enemy. Lightning procced, fire procced. He almost died from the fire, and that's it. Okay guys, that's my video for today. If you liked the video, subscribe, like, leave a comment. That should be all for today. Thank you for watching. My name is Danny D. I see you next time on Nioh 2. Bye bye. Toss a coin to your witcher, a valley of plenty, a valley of plenty. Why are you still here? Be gone. Summoning Jutsu.